Veterans Women's Resources. Before we begin,
this meeting is being recorded.
Before we begin, as a disclaimer, we'd like to bring to your attention that the webinar is being recorded. By logging in, you are agreeing to be a part of our webinar. This recording will be on our website and YouTube so that you can share with others that will benefit this presentation. My name is Jennifer Redquist, and I'm proud to say I am a CalTAP training coordinator with the California Department of Veterans Affairs. In addition, I'm a veteran myself. I'm a military spouse and the mother of 3 active duty airmen, and I was a military brat growing up. So I definitely can say I've been in all of your shoes, and I understand the hardships that you all have to endure to ensure our country's freedom. So I want to take a moment to say thank you so much for all that you've done and you do to support the United States Armed Forces. Uniformed or not, I truly understand that all of you guys serve. So thank you for your service. Now, I'm really excited that you guys joined today's presentation because it is packed with great information. And we have presenters from Calvet Women's Division, Julian. We also have Loma Linda Healthcare. We have Gina, and we also have Lisa here. We also have your Veterans Resource Center representatives at your college. Rachel is here also. So our presentation, and in addition, we have Annette Walliver here. She is a Calvet Link local interagency network coordinator. Let's get started with the next slide here. So what is CalTAP? You've heard me say it quite a few times, a couple times here. Like the military, the state of California has lots of different acronyms. CalTAP stands for the California Transition Assistance Program. It's designed to inform and connect veterans of all eras of your earned federal and state benefits, as well as provide continuing support as your needs change over time. We read that verbatim because we want you to know that we understand that your needs are going to change. And we want to be there for you today, tomorrow, and for your family for the rest of your lives. We want to support you 24/7. And the way we do this is not only through our 800 number and our website and call, and emails, but also through our online portal. Our online portal has all sorts of resources for core curriculum, education, employment, entrepreneurship, and service providers. Service providers is a pathway for those that are servicing veterans, their service members, and their families to understand the lifestyle and the needs of those. So this is that portal. So this is Calvet's website. I highly recommend that you guys check it out. Do not be afraid of getting in rabbit holes in this thing, because I'm telling you, these rabbit holes lead to carrots. Carrots are your benefits. So please play with it and share this website with others. On the main page, you're going to see a few different pictures, and one of the pictures has CalTAP on it. So just click CalTAP and it'll bring you to this where our actual CalTAP pathways are. I circled in yellow there, archives. So in addition to this webinar, there's lots and lots of webinars that we have recorded and have available to you guys. Please check them out. There's ones on emergency readiness, legal assistance, housing assistance, employment, entrepreneurship, all sorts of really great stuff. So check it out. You can also look further down to see upcoming webinars also. So here is a snapshot of all the California specific benefits. Now, we don't really have time today to go through each and every one of them. We want you guys to look at them, put together your questions, and please give us a call. All of us, including all of us training coordinators and the links, all answer the phone calls. We are really excited about helping you out, and we are very passionate about what we do. And so we can go into detail with any and all of these benefits. This is the Veterans Resource Book. You guys, this thing is like gold. This is mine right here. And it's got stickers on it and it's all tabbed up. But it is amazing. You don't know what you don't know. And I was out of the military for 20 years before I got my hands on my first, this is what the resource book looks like, physical resource book. I asked, hey, I'm here for my benefits at the County Veteran Service Office. And they're like, which one? I'm like, I don't know. And they gave me that book and I was like, floored by all the different benefits that are out there, federal and state. Now, Mike is Michael is another training coordinator. He is under CalTAP questions, or under CalTAP/calvet. If you have any specific questions, you can put it in that chat. He'll also be putting the resource book link in the chat. If you have questions with other people going through, I'm sorry, I didn't say this earlier, you can just click on the Q&A tab and put your questions in there. And at the end of the presentation, we will address all those questions. I'm sorry, I didn't say that in the beginning. I skipped that. All right, so I went through a lot of information quickly. So I want you to know that we want to continue to support you. And the way we do that is through our website, through the surveys, through Facebook, through YouTube. Go to YouTube. There's so many great videos on there for all of Calvet, not just CalTAP. So please go there, check it out, subscribe to it. Lots of great stuff on there. And Facebook could also help you with like upcoming webinars. Really great stuff. But back to the survey. The survey is fantastic. It really, we really strongly encourage you guys to fill that out. We utilize those every single day to improve our presentations with the ultimate goal of providing you guys with the best beneficial information and wraparound support. So if you could take your phone and scan that, or Michael's also going to put a link in the chat. So this is va.gov, really a great federal website. It's a great place to go. You'll just go va.gov and you can access disability claims, find disability status, get letters. You can look up your medical records. You can do all sorts of great stuff. Find out about your GI Bill, all sorts of great stuff through this website. I highly recommend that you guys go to this website and use it. Here is my contact information and all those different social medias that we have. Please give us a call, email me anytime at all. If there's something that I mentioned and you're like, hey, Jen, I want to know more about X, Y, and Z. I will be more than happy to help you out. So with that, I'm going to hand the floor over to Annette Walliver. She is our Central Valley Local Interagency Network Coordinator and also a veteran. Are you there, Annette?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Yes, I am the link, as we're referred to. But basically what I am is I am a field rep, one of the 8 field reps in the state of California that assist current and prior military service members and their families with benefits and service. Next slide, please. So you can see that Calvet has divided the state into 8 regions. Each color is a region with a coordinating link. I'm the one smack dab in the middle. I'm the Central Valley link. I cover Stanislaus, Kern County, 8 counties, representing about 144,000 veterans. And we work as a team because we want to make sure we're aware of all the state and federal benefits that military service members are entitled to. But we also work independently within our communities to build up those augmented services that kind of scoop up where federal and state may not necessarily be able to assist them. So we make sure that we're in contact with our veterans organizations, our nonprofits, our collaboratives, and veterans employment committees. Next slide, please. So we provide outreach to service members, veterans, and their families. And we do this, actually, yesterday I was at Lemoore Naval Air Station. We want to make sure that military service members are aware of their benefits prior to separating from the service. And we also go to community colleges. These may be recently separated veterans because it's very important to realize what benefits that you have entitled to you. And then by working with the community of services within our own networks, we can make referrals and work directly with established service provider networks. So if any veteran needs assistance, military member, I'm able to do that soft handoff because I know those community partners and I know they'll be able to assist them. And then we assist with local emergencies. I know Calvet has been very active in assisting evacuees from the fires that we've had here in California. In fact, last year I was actually a year and a half ago deployed to the Tulare County Local Assistance Center to assist those veterans who were evacuees of the SQF fires. And in some cases, these individuals not only lost their properties, but they lost all their paperwork. And that DD Form 214, that's your gateway to all your benefits. So make sure that you have a copy available or some way that you can get to it. But by working with the County Veterans Service Office, we were able to secure copies of their DD Form 214 and also working with Calvet Home Loans, get the certificate of eligibility so that they could go forward with a Calvet or VA home loan. And if they had a Calvet home loan, we could assist them with their insurance paperwork. Currently, I think, as was mentioned, we are assisting with the calls that go into 1-800 headquarters. So whether I get a call from Klamath Falls or San Diego, I'm able to assist them because I know the state and federal agencies and services available. And if we need to dive deeper within their individual community, I can contact their link because we're the subject matter experts within our areas. And then we provide leadership and advocacy to local communities. And we do this by staying in touch with our partners, making sure they're aware of benefits, any changes to benefits. And we also want to identify if there's any gaps in benefits so we can forward this information to headquarters. Next slide, please. So getting connected to your benefits, well, you know, this is a passion for me. That's what I do. That's my outreach. But also, I'm the poster child for getting connected to your benefits. I served in the United States Army from 1975 to 1978. I used my GI Bill, got my degree, got my VA home loan, and I thought that's pretty much it. But you know, things do change over time, and it wasn't until 2009 or 2010 when I started working for the state of California, I realized I could file for compensation. So now I have a service-connected disability, which leads to additional benefits. I didn't realize I was still eligible to enroll in VA healthcare. So I am enrolled in VA healthcare. But these are the agencies we work day in and day out with. Employment and training. The Employment Development Department has dedicated staff that work solely with veterans. I was an EDD vet rep for 8 years, so I know how hard they work to get veterans connected to employers, and they can assist with interview skills, resume preparation, or just getting you connected to those employers. They are also co-located in the America's Job Center of California, and these AJCCs have the tools that you can use. Computers, printers, copiers, they're there. They have job boards. They have a lot of opportunities for you. And this is all at no cost to you. You can file for unemployment, disability, paid family leave, and also get connected to your veterans preference points for state and federal jobs. California state benefits, well, that's what Calvet is all about. And I always say we're the other VA. So we deal with the California benefits. There's 8 of us links throughout the state. The county veteran service offices, these are the boots on the ground. They're trained by Calvet. There's 56 CVSOs in the state out of the 58 counties. They do everything, filing for compensation and pension, DMV paperwork, fishing game, college tuition fee waiver. So make sure you get connected to them, and they can also ensure that you're aware of all the benefits, whether it's state or federal, that you're eligible for. Healthcare. We need to be mindful of our healthcare during this time. I'm very pleased to say with the VA Medical Center and Vet Centers, they offer a lot of opportunities. All of my appointments in the last 2 years have been either VA Connect or telehealth. So it's been very easy for me to stay in touch with my medical providers, and also getting medications through my Healthy Vet. They're there for you. If you need to enroll in VA healthcare, you can either go online or you can actually call your local clinic or a medical center, ask to speak to eligibility, and they may be able to enroll you over the phone. Next slide, please. So if you remember nothing else, remember this. As I said, I have a service-connected disability. I'm a United States Army veteran. I've used a lot of these programs. I'm aware of a lot of these benefits. So please feel free to reach out to me and I can answer any questions. And if I can, I'll get you to someone who can. So thank you for your service and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Annette, for what you do for the entire community and for all the other links. Thank you so much for being those boots on the ground and actually getting those benefits to veterans and their families. All right, next up we have Julian here. She is with the the Women's Division within Calvet. Are you there, Julian?
I am, yes. Thanks, Jen.
Great.
Hi, folks. My name is Julian Carricus, and I am the manager in the Women Veterans Division here at Calvet. I am also a veteran who served 12 years in the military security forces. Did I mention that I'm a part of the elite and obviously the best service, which is the Air Force. I would say, and I'm going to say woohoo because that's our rallying cry rather than the Army's HOA and the Marines' big oorah. And I'm not quite sure what the Space Force says, so that'll be interesting. I'm excited to hear more about if we get any veterans from the Space Force. So moving on, can we go to the next slide? So I'm going to talk a little bit about today is a little bit of background on California women veterans, and then what we do for women veterans in the state. One of the biggest questions that we get is, why is there a women veterans division? What is the purpose? Aren't all veterans veterans? Well, today I hope to answer that question for you. And at the end of the slide, if you still have that question, we could talk offline. But I'm going to first start off with how many California women are in California, which is 163,000 that we serve throughout the state. You can go to the next slide, Jen. And we have about, of that 163, there are 10% that are veterans. And we pretty much match what the national is. And why that's important is because we serve a lot of women, and I'll talk a little bit more about this, but there are only 4 of us in our division. So we serve a lot of women, and so we're pretty busy. Next slide. Another thing about women veterans that's important to know is that they're getting out of the military at the prime age of their life. So they are ready to go to work, and they're already working. They're excited to start a second career. It's generally what happens. So they're super young. They're generally more ethnically diverse, and obviously more likely to have served and in the recent conflicts, and are looking to mostly, that we found, to start their own businesses. So we've been pretty heavy in trying to connect women veterans with learning more about small businesses, how to start yours, and connecting you with good mentorship. Next slide, please, Jen. We also find that in regards to health, women are generally much healthier than their civilian peers, which we know is not saying much. We still have a lot of issues that we need to address. And just in the last 10 years, the big VA has done enormous work and has improved a lot in providing women-specific services. It's like they all of a sudden woke up and understood that, hey, we have different equipment than men. And so it's awesome to see that we now have specific women health centers. And Gina and Lisa will talk more about that. We do a lot of mediating between the big VA and us. Next slide, Jen. And this slide is important to understand because we try to tell every woman veteran, once you get out, or even just before you get out 6 months prior to a year, make sure that you start your process for getting a VA disability claim. And this is a little bit dated, but still relevant, because PTSD is still, post-traumatic stress disorder, is still one of the #1 and biggest health concerns and conditions that women get when they have a service connection disability. So we find that women don't generally know what to apply for, because you know, the military tells us, you're fine, don't go to the doctor, you're fine, let's just ignore it and keep moving on, mission first, right? And so we kind of push our health concerns to the side, and we forget that we're hurting. So when we get out, here's a good basis to start with. Talk with your CVSO, they'll also help you. Women are also really huge with depressive orders, migraines, and anxiety is another big one. And something to also understand too is women have a huge chronic disease for COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which basically means they have trouble breathing. And that's especially important now because of COVID. So if you have any of these kinds of issues, make sure that you're telling this to your CVSO. And I'm sure that they'll also walk this through with you as well. Next slide, Jen. We found too in the past, I mean, this has been true for everybody, but most especially in the past 2 years, of course, mental health challenges have increased significantly. And, you know, the more that we stay at home by ourselves, and we try to help each other in our communities by 6-foot distancing and isolating ourselves, women find, obviously, that our mental health suffers. And one of the biggest challenges we find that women are coming out more about is they're realizing that they have symptoms of that stem from military sexual trauma. And I want to read one of these bullet points that are the most important that I would hope that you take away, which is MST has been found to be more traumatic and debilitating than sexual assaults and rapes in the civilian context. And why that is true is because unlike civilians, we know that rapes happen with people that they know, but in the military, these people are not just people we know, but these are people that we share our lives with because we get deployed with them, or we're just working with them so closely all the time, 24/7. They're part of our personal lives. They're part of our professional lives, and it's really hard to separate the two. So when the rapes or sexual assaults happen, it's almost like an ancestral thing. So it's really, really hard to really to tackle those issues. And so it's even more traumatic for them. And so we're finding that's obviously a really huge challenge. And we have some great organizations that help to address that. And one of our tenants in our own division is exploring options for helping to mitigate some of those things. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. Next slide, Jen. So as women, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, right? Some of the unique challenges we have are obviously the equipment really isn't made for us. And so that clearly leads to a lot of subsequent issues physically with our backs. I think one of the leading problems that we have with issues is our backs, and I believe our mostly a lot of with our lower spines and our necks, because I remember when I got deployed to Iraq, nothing fit me correctly because of our chests, the way they're shaped, and the answer to that was just suck it up, buttercup, right? And so that's something that we struggle with, and that we're constantly having to shift and pivot on. Is women have to always be able to make sure that they are adjusting to what is already there for men. And then obviously, women have been serving in the military since the beginning of the United States, although we have started out as being very incognito or not recognized. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the lack of recognition. So when I got out of the military, I had no idea I was a veteran, because to me, a veteran was a guy who got out after 20 years or more. I only did 12, and it was usually again a guy or a white guy, because that's what we see in our whole society. You can go to the next slide. Sorry, Jen. And I want to talk about a little bit about how we can better support our women veterans, because we have found that I'm not unique. Many women veterans don't think they're veterans. And I want to provide an example of what that even looks like. And again, my story is not unique, but I'd like to share it. So I'm married to another military member. He's currently in, and we both went to a veteran service organization that we were thinking about joining. We walked into this very cool building that looked really cool. It said, "Welcome all veterans. We love you. We'd love to have you be part of our organization." We walked in, and all these guys from all the corners of this little bar came at my husband. They were super excited to talk to him. They asked him a bunch of questions. They joked and they laughed, and they probably cut up the rug for a good 20, 30 minutes. And after that, they kind of looked at me and they're like, "Oh, ma'am, we also have a great auxiliary program for wives as well. We'd love to have you be a part of that." And my husband looked at him and he's like, "So my wife is also a veteran and she's been deployed twice. So that's something to keep in mind." And the guys were pretty excited to see that, and they were very welcoming afterwards. But again, this happens all the time to almost every woman that I talk to. They have a very similar story. A lot of stories are, "I walked into the VA and the person asked if, where's your husband? Can I help them?" as the veteran. So it's really, really important that women are recognized, that they are told and they see in every space that there's a woman military member or a woman veteran there to be an example for. So representation really, really matters when we're talking about connecting women veterans to their benefits and to resources. Otherwise, they'll get left out, like Jen did. It took her 20 years to even walk into a CVSO. And I've had many people and friends who've said the same thing, that they didn't think that they were veterans, so they didn't think they qualified, and so they missed out on a lot of cool things. Next slide. And all that to say, this is why Calvet Women Veterans was created, because while the benefits are not any different for any other veteran, we just want to make sure that women know about them. Otherwise, how can they use them? So our whole goal is to ensure that we find you, that we raise you up, and that we empower you to understand who you are, where you've been, and to make sure that you are connected to those resources and services. Next slide. So our illustrious leader who guides us all is our Deputy Secretary, Virginia Wimmer. She came to us as a County Veteran Service Officer. She has been amazing. She just came on to us last year in October, and she's been up and running. She has been all up and down the state trying to ensure that she finds all these women veterans and that you guys get connected to us, to other women organizations, and that you guys are firing off in your lives and really capitalizing on your military service and your background to live amazing lives. Next slide, please. So some of the things that we have going on, there's a lot. I want to say and reiterate one more time, there are 4 of us. That's our deputy, there's me, and then my 2 co-workers. And we are running as fast as we can. But again, there are 163,000 women we're trying to find. And so some of the programs that we do, number 1 is we would like to increase the people that we have on our women veterans roster. And what that means is that it just gets you connected to us with your email. That's all we need is just your email. That way, when we send out information that's specific for women about events or information or legislation that happens, that you get that info so that you're not lost when it comes to information. Another thing that we're doing is our Calvet Women Voices campaign. We're continuously asking women to share your stories. Tell us who you are, what you've done. Tell us your experiences of what happened in the military that made you stronger, better, or even experiences you've had as a veteran. We'd love to hear that too. And you can find all of this out on our website, which I'll share a little bit later. And I'm sure somebody will put it in the chat as well. Military sexual trauma, as I talked about earlier, is incredibly close to us. We have been working really hard on creating a statewide trauma training for service providers, and not just service providers, but to veteran groups, to veterans themselves, to colleges, to women veteran organizations. We're trying to go throughout the whole state, trying to teach people how to better address military sexual trauma, not just better address, but what we can do to ensure that we can continue to mitigate the things that are happening in the military, and how to better serve our veterans outside of the military as well, and better connecting them to good services. So we're currently working on that, and we're hoping to have something by end of year next year. And then our next exciting thing is our NorCal Operation Dress Code. This is a very, very awesome event. This year, we're doing one in Northern California. Usually it's in SoCal and San Diego. So we're having 2, one in NorCal, one in SoCal. The one in NorCal we're hosting, and it's being done in Walnut Creek. And what this is it's this amazing boutique experience that we create at a hotel, where we have gathered gently used, very beautiful clothing, accessories, purses, shoes, bags, and we make this store experience for you. And we have a personal shopper that we assign to a woman veteran, and we help you choose clothing for those transitioning women that are coming from out of the military and moving into the career field. Because we know, it's COVID. It's been a while since a lot of us have gone out in public, and we probably got rid of a lot of clothes because we found COVID pounds, or, we might have lost some COVID pounds. And so we need new wardrobes, and we're trying to help mitigate as much barriers as there is for you to get into employment. Because as I mentioned earlier, we find that women are getting employed at much higher rates, and they're also looking for jobs at such a young prime age timeframe too. So please, if you haven't yet or heard about it, Operation Dress Code, Walnut Creek, June 11th is a Saturday. Please sign up. I'll give you more info on our webpage. It's all on our website. Again, on that same day too, not only do you get this boutique personal shopping experience, but we also have amazing workshops that will teach you and look over your resumes. We'll do hair and makeup things, photography for you as well. It's just a really cool day. Come join us. We'd love to help you out. We'd love to make you look beautiful, feel beautiful, and get empowered. Some of the other programs that we're doing is a women veteran program manager quarterly meetings. We try to do that so that we can stay connected with the VA, so that we can let them know of some issues that we're hearing from our women vets, and they can let us know some of the things that they're doing, and we share information so that, you know, we're capturing as many women veterans as we can. Another thing that we run is we asked the governor in March during Women's History Month for a proclamation identifying and celebrating Women's Military History Week, which is generally the third week of March. And this past year, we do a bunch of different things every year. Sometimes we just have our deputy secretary go out to different women veteran celebrations throughout the state. This year, we hosted one in our building because of COVID protocols. We did one in our building, and we hosted this amazing women veteran art exhibit that featured women who are here in Sacramento, and their stories, what they're doing now, how they've overcome a lot of issues that they had in the military, and it was really awesome. The photography was beautiful. And so we do that every year. Every year, we'll also, again, provide all of our information through this women veterans roster so you can attend our events. We have coming up June 12th is Women Veterans Recognition Day. We will also have a proclamation that will be coming out for that time frame. Our deputy secretary will also be out and about in June going to different celebrations to really promote the women veteran story. We also work in partnership with, again, the big VA. In specific, we're working on the Women's Health and Reengagement Training Program, which is just a big survey understanding the health needs of women. We also work with the Commission on the Status of Women and Girls. They help a lot with a lot of our programs and our events. And then our deputy secretary is also on the board for the California Victim Services State Agency Coordination Council. It's brand new. It's basically trying to figure out how we can get better California services out to people who have been victims in the state. And this is really close to us because we're hoping to mesh this with our military sexual trauma training. So it's pretty exciting. Next slide, please. So this is a little bit more about the Women's Health Reengagement Training. This is also on our website, as is the link. This is really for women veterans who have been not connected to the VA at all. It's really understanding why you're not connected, how they can better improve your services. And what's really cool about this training is you get on there with other women veterans who are just as clueless and lost. And a lot of them are kind of disenfranchised. So it's a great opportunity for women to like connect with each other. Because, the more that you see of other people who know of your story and know of your struggle, it's easier to connect and really build a community. So I like this because then you can meet some really cool people that are in your area, because this is also very area specific. So I would encourage you, if you're not connected to the VA, to at the very least take this survey, attend the training, get to know these ladies and other ladies who might be in your area, because it's a great, great opportunity to just build some good connections. Next slide. Women's Military History Week. So I talked a little bit about this earlier. This is some of the events. This is our old deputy secretary, Lindsay Sin. On the left is Xochitl Rodriguez Murillo. She is our deputy secretary for minority veterans. And our current deputy, Virginia and Sochi, they both work really well together, and we did a huge thing with Women's Military History Week this year, and that was that photography exhibit. So again, this Military History Week, we just celebrated by providing the proclamation, providing that throughout the state. If you're an organization that would like a copy of that proclamation to mount up somewhere or to provide at your own events next year, please contact us. We would love to give you a copy. They're really beautiful. The governor provides that to us on this nice, beautiful parchment paper that we like to give out. Next slide, please. Women Veterans Recognition Day, again, that's June 12th. And this year, our deputy secretary will be going throughout the state, attending and speaking and reading the proclamation at different events. Next slide, please. Another thing that we do are statewide webinars. We generally do them every month, every other month, depending on the need. These are generally very specific to women veterans. We have archives of the most pertinent ones and the most valuable ones on our website. They're all recorded, definitely very free, just like these CalTAP classes. Next slide, please. So our annual Veterans Reception, we conduct once a year. excuse me, usually it's in October. And what we do is probably a couple months prior to our reception is we do a call for people throughout the state to nominate a woman veteran that they know who have been significant in their communities. They have done some amazing things in their communities, and we call them our Trailblazer Awards, and we award them with one of these, and we kind of put you to work. When I say that, I just mean that we hope that you will continue to be a voice for women veterans throughout the state, and our Deputy Secretary recognizes you, and so does our secretary, Dr. Mbasiani, in this beautiful reception. Now, it's been virtual for the last couple of years. We're hoping that this year it'll be in person. We usually have a nice evening reception with some food and drinks, and it's a really fun time to network. And so be on the lookout for that. Be thinking of women that you know of who have done some amazing things in your communities, because we'd love to recognize who they are and what they've done. Next slide, please. So I talked a little bit about Operation Dress Code. Here's a little bit more of the information and where to register at. It's just a one-day event again, and we would love, love, love to give you these beautiful, so we get donations from all over the place, and a lot of the time they're really, really nice pieces. Like we're talking like really, so I'm not a fashion person, but I'm told that some of these suits cost $200 just for those. And like we get Louis Vuitton, so please come clean us out. We don't want to take anything home. And here's a little bit more about the information. We do have as our partners, Wounded Warrior will be there, the commission will be there, and Win Like a Girl. They're all helping out to make sure that this experience for you guys is really, really awesome, so that you can attend next year, or tell your friends about the SoCal one that will be in San Diego, and that will be in, I believe, November or October. So keep an eye on, make sure you're part of our roster so that you find out those exact details. And next slide, please. Calvet Women Voices, this is the story collection campaign that I was talking about. If you go to our website, you'll look through this, you'll download this PDF packet that'll kind of tell you and give you an idea of what we're looking for in the video. We share all these stories just on our social media piece because we want these to be really quick. A lot of us have like the attention span of TikTok videos, so that's kind of the length of your stories should be. So no more than 30 seconds, definitely no more than a minute. And we will help, once you submit your raw video to us, we'll help to crop it, fix it, and beautify it. We'll make it look really nice and with like music and slideshows. And if you would like to give us some pictures to put slideshows on your video to play so that you don't have to be the talking head the whole time, we'd love to have those too, to put as part of the editing video process. Next slide, please. This is just the release form that you just give us for the video so that we can use it. And then we also snuck in our roster information there so that you guys can also sign up for that. Because again, we'd love to connect with you with your email. This is the roster, and this is online as well on our website, or you can use the barcode over here. And just need basic information from you guys, and it helps us again to connect with you. And then if we're doing anything like tracking women as far as how many women do we have in this area, where do we need to go to serve those women, we'd like to know how many women are, where we can better serve our women veterans. And next slide, please. So this is our website. I kept alluding to it. I'm sure it's in the chat. So our website is calvet.ca.gov/womenvets with an S at the end. So it's pretty simple. The roster is the first thing we have on there because that's the first thing we want you to do is make sure you get connected to us. And then resources information, it's self-explanatory, and then our webinar and our reception information is on there. Once we're ready to do the call for our awardees for the Trailblazer Award, we'd love to have your input. We want more women, and every year it gets bigger. The pool gets bigger, so it's always really exciting to see. Next slide, please. I think that's it. Yes. So as Annette said so succinctly, if you remember nothing about this presentation, please, please, please take my phone number down and our email. Take down our email, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please, please reach out to us. This goes directly to a person that we always look at every day, and we always answer the calls as people. So it won't be a machine. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Julian. Thank you so much to the Women's Division for all the advocating that you do for us and empowering us veterans out here in the state of California. So we really, really do appreciate it, that feeling not alone and knowing that there's someone, there is a division that's got our back that we can call and ask all sorts of questions for. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right, next, let's move on to our next presenter, Gina. Gina is with the Loma Linda Healthcare System. Are you there, Gina?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Woohoo! Woohoo! All right, everybody. My name is Gina Truitt. I am the Deputy Women Veterans Program Manager here at the Loma Linda VA. I'm going to pop my information into the chat if it'll let me. There we go. And so what do? I'm a Navy veteran because, sorry, Julianne, you know, the Air Force is not the best force. The Navy, hoorah. I love so many jokes for the Air Force. I go on for like weeks with the Air Force, the Army, like it's so hodgepodge. I just can't come up with a lot of jokes. It's all over the place. And then, you know, the Marines are always really fun. They're really fun to rag on. So those are my favorites. Anyway, so I was in the Navy a long time ago. I'm really old. I went on a deployment and I was like, no thanks, no thanks. You know, when I came back from deployment, my son didn't know who I was like, yeah, I'm good. I was at IT, I used my GI Bill. Now I'm a social worker and I've been, you know, I've been working with our military and veterans, active duty and veterans for about 20 years. I was even did some time, I should say, as a military spouse. So I get that side. I do hear everybody saying that we're just not recognized. And I think, you know, we're not recognized out there. You know, my husband gets recognized as a veteran. I'm going to get into a little bit of my story, my experiences here at the VA. And, you know, I get it. I 100% get it. And what do I do? Who am I? What is my job like here at the VA? I help advocate for women and in navigating the VA healthcare. If anybody does you dirty here at the VA, I will go get them. I will go chew their butt. And I will also advocate for different services for women veterans, make sure that the VA is taking care of veterans, taking care of women, and that we're not forgotten and lost in the sauce. I know there's been a ton of information that's just been presented to you, and it's like drinking from the fire hose. It kind of reminds me of when I was in the military and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to get all this information. Yeah, it's a lot of information. I can help you. Like if you call, if anything at the end of this, and call me and we will figure it out together. I'm a person that's going to help you. All of these people. I love Calvet. They've been super helpful. You know, there's so many state benefits that none of us know about. There's all these federal benefits. You know, there's so many things that you're eligible for. And that is really, it's a challenge to navigate the whole thing. And that's what we're all here for. Next slide. So the history of women in the military. So this is some little tidbit that I didn't know, is that until 1967, I think it's 1967. 1967, there was a 2% cap that women could not be more than 2% of the military. In 1967, they've got rid of that. And now women make up about 15% of the military. Next slide. So here's kind of like what women look like in the military. So the Air Force has the most at 21%. The Navy is next at 20. The Army has about 15%, and the Marines are about 9%. And they, of course, they forgot about the Coasties, because that's the branch that everybody forgets about. The Space Force, nobody's even going to remember either. Next slide. And this is kind of like what women look like in the military as officers. They're healthcare officers. A lot of them, I just came from Balboa Hospital as a social worker there. There's a lot of nurses and doctors that were officers and enlisted. We were in administrative jobs. But next slide. Women have been in combat a lot longer than what Congress has recognized. Women are now eligible so that they can do all these other MOSs that previously we weren't allowed to. But women have been in combat a really, really long time. And that so there's this assumption that women in the military, they never deployed, they never did anything, and that it's incorrect. And there's been a lot of women who have been, excuse me, I know I'm like in a professional thing, but been in the shit. And I know I have quite a few friends who have been in intense combat situations, and that, you know, women have been exposed to the same things that men have. Women have been doing the same job as men for a long time. And the thing that makes us a little bit different is, you know, I know that Julian was talking about that, military sexual trauma. That's a big thing, because a lot of us were harassed. Like, it's just like we're walking meat, you know, especially like on a ship, and you're just surrounded by all these dudes. And you're, even when you're like out there, like in Iraq and all those, you're surrounded by dudes. And if somebody assaults you out there, you still have to work with that person. I have other words, but you still have to work with that person. And then, oh no, he didn't, you just were too drunk, and you just regret it, and all of these things. And so women in the military were it's a little bit different, because we don't get to get away from our perpetrator. Next slide. So the VA, actually, the vision of women veterans healthcare is that women get the same care, equal care to men. We get all the specific care that men get. We get the same care, same level of care as men. We are not going to be the redheaded stepchildren. We're not going to be left out. We are here. And actually, I forgot to mention it, is that we're a growing population in the for the veterans, right? The veteran population that gets registered at the VA is about 3%. Women make up about 8% of that. So women are the women veteran population is growing here at the VA. Next slide. So when I got out of the military, I had no idea that the VA took care of women. I didn't. I was like, no, they don't take care of women. I had my son, and I had to use like the Medicaid option, because I had no idea that you could get care at the VA. The VA offers comprehensive primary care, gynecological care. And so this is a little bit TMI, but I'm old, and I've had my kids. I don't want to have kids anymore. And when I went through Kaiser, they were like, oh, well, you need to go through this like training, and you need to, we need to make sure that you don't want to have kids. It was a whole like process so that I could go through and get my tubes tied. I come here to the VA, and they're like, oh, you want to get your tubes tied? Perfect. Great. Okay. So I come here to get my surgery, to get my tubes tied. And, you know, it's just a day surgery, and I needed to have a driver. My husband came with me, and, and they were like, Truett. So I get up, and my husband comes with me, and they're like, oh, no, not you, him. I was like, I really doubt you're going to be taking his tubes out. You're going to have a hard time finding him. I'm the veteran. I'm here for the surgery. And I tore him a new hole. And because there is that automatic assumption that, that I'm just a driver, I'm just a spouse, I'm just a caregiver. But we offer all of those gender specific care. We offer breast health and cervical cancer, breast cancer screenings, and mental health services. We have mental health services that are dedicated and specific for women, because when you've been traumatized by men, you don't want to deal with men. You don't want to, when you're in a vulnerable position, you don't want to have a male provider. So you can request a female provider, and for mental health and for your primary care. And here's something that's cool, is infertility benefits. I never knew that you could get maternity or infertility benefits here. So if you're pregnant and you're registered here at the VA, you can get maternity benefits. Not that you deliver here at the VA hospital, we will refer you out, but the VA pays for it. And infertility, so that's kind of, everybody gets an infertility appointment, like, where you consultation, everybody across the board. Now, if you need something a little bit more, there are infertility benefits, but it's a little tricky to get that paid for, but it is an option. So just know that that's an option out there. Next slide, please. And so here's some of our gender specific programs. So Thrive, Whole Health. It's a dope program. It's kind of hippy dippy, but it's all about you. It's about taking care of you. It's about self-care. It's about mental health care. It's about physical care. It's about everything, spiritual care. It's about the whole thing. And it's about how can you get better care for yourself. We've had quite a few, like a couple of them that have graduated from the programs, and they loved it. It helped them retrain their brain so that they're not just neglecting themselves, so that they can focus on themselves, because as women, we're givers. We're just natural givers, and we give, and then we don't save anything for ourselves. And the Thrive program helps you so that you could save for yourself. There's other mental health groups that are specific for sexual trauma that we offer. There's a yearly baby shower. We just had that baby shower last Friday. It was a huge hit. It was amazing. They served about 96 families and helped you get baby shower gifts. You get all kinds of stuff. You get, I think about each veteran walks out of there with about $300 worth of stuff. It's a huge deal. It was amazing. And you can request a woman provider at any time. And that's where, like, if you are getting frustrated with the Navy, with the VA system, and that's where, like, Lisa and myself, we can help you kind of navigate that. Next slide. The VA is changing. Actually, I have to say, the VA has changed. Like, since when I first started, it was all men, men's rooms, and it was very male centric. Next. And so now they've tried to make it better. They have these gender neutral bathrooms, and they have the koalas in a lot of the bathrooms now. And so that's what's really nice, is that it's being more inclusive and changing that you don't have to have a bathroom that's just for men or just for women. You can have a bathroom that's for both. And that way, then, even for like the transgender population, that way then they feel safe going somewhere to the bathroom. Next. The culture change. So this is where we as women veterans got to really just start being like, hey, I'm a veteran. Because when at first I didn't consider myself a veteran either. I was like, oh, I didn't go, I deployed, but I didn't deploy the same as other people. And like, I didn't serve 20 years. I'm not a veteran. Like, bah. But these men, they're like, I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran. They just be out there just screaming that they're a veteran. We're not screamers generally, but we need to be screamers, and we need to be out there saying, hey, we are here and we're a force. Don't mess with me. And so we're trying to make it more inclusive for women veterans. Next slide. There's a lot of different ways that we're trying to do that. That's a don't call me mister. That's no, I'm the veteran. You're not taking his fallopian tubes, right? Next. And then we have different campaigns for each month. And like, that's like, hey, there's women here. Like, I think next month it's menopause month. I'm butchering it. But like, there was heart health month that was, I don't remember what month it was, to be completely honest, because cardiac disease is one of the #1 killers of women veterans, or women in general. It's kind of a silent thing. And that's why it's important to make sure you get in and get checked on a regular basis. There's, She Wore These. There are a lot of different campaigns to make sure that that providers and that veterans out on the just regular veterans know that, hey, we're here, we're loud, we're proud. Next slide, please. So this is a number that if you're like, man, I am so kind of lost in my head, and that I don't remember what anybody said, and I'm not in, let's say you move to, I don't care. I'm not gonna say Texas, because Texas is kind of wild right now. Let's say Washington, and you don't know how to get connected. You can call this number, this Women Veterans Call Center, and they'll help you get connected with somebody like me that's up in your area. Because you earned these benefits. You earned them. These are yours. Next slide. Because there are women out there earning Purple Hearts and campaign medals and all these different medals. You earned it. You deserve it. Next slide. So eligibility, that brings us to eligibility. That's kind of like, bleh. So you had to serve after, I think it's 1970 something or 1980, you had to serve at least 2 years and you have to have a general or an honorable discharge. If you didn't serve the 2 years, you need to have a service connection. The thing is don't ever assume, never assume you're not eligible for something unless you go straight to the source. And even then, when you go straight to the source, ask twice. I always keep going until I get the same answer twice, and that way then I know it's a legit answer. So always never assume that you're not eligible for something, because right, who knew that the VA provided maternity care, that you could go have a baby on the VA dime. Next slide. So how to enroll at the VA, you can go online. You could fill out this form, this 1010 easy, and you could take it to any of these locations, or you can call. You could call the VA, and like what somebody else was saying is that you can ask to speak to eligibility, and you could do that. You go in person, you could go online. I'm always a fan of online. I don't like going anywhere. Next slide. Or you can go on e-benefits. On e-benefits, I'm a big fan of e-benefits because you can connect to a lot of different things. You know, it is a very stressful and unpleasant experience to get your e-benefits, but it's worth it in the end. So just kind of bear through it and get your e-benefits, your va.gov account, all of those accounts. Eventually, I think they're all going to get connected, but you know, it's the federal government. Everything moves really slow. Next slide, please. And so that concludes my presentation. Hopefully y'all will give me a call or send me an email and just come on down to my office is here at the ACC. I do spend Tuesdays at the Marietta Clinic. So if you're in the Marietta area and you're like, oh my God, I'm so frustrated and I need help, I'm down there in Marietta on Tuesdays. And then Lisa is up here Monday through Friday here at the ACC and the Juliet Clinic. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to any of these people. I know it's like drinking from a fire hose today, but just reach out to us and then we'll help you. Talk to each other, because you guys are each other's best resource, because somebody's navigated it before and they know how to do it. Because nobody tells us how to navigate this stuff. We have to just figure it out. And when you guys all talk to each other, that's going to be your best resource. So if you, again, you guys take care, reach out to all of us, and thank you for your service.
Thank you so much, Gina. You make me smile so hard. I love how passionate you are about getting resources out and advocating and giving us a large voice. So I really appreciate you and Lisa, and for everything you guys do, and for that amazing presentation and great information. So thank you. All right, with that, we are going to go to our questions. Michael's been fielding our questions as the presentation's been going. These are all of our information, all of our emails, all of our phone numbers. Please, please, please give us a call. We are all very passionate about what we do. We want to get resources and benefits to you. If you have any questions, concerns, or you know anybody who is struggling, give them our numbers. You can take a screenshot of this. You can use your phones. Whatever you need to do, let us know. All right, Michael, are you ready?
Yes, there's no other questions.
You're on mute.
They're all answered.
Did you want to go over some of the big ones that were asked, ones that other people want to hear about?
Most of them were about like the slides and stuff like that. There was one that was, yes, and there was another one about what functional impairment is, and I answered that and was just saying that it was limitations due to an illness, and some of the other stuff was just about slides and the PowerPoint presentation.
Awesome. So yeah, this presentation is being recorded. It's going to be available on YouTube. It's going to be available on our website. And the PDF, we're going to make a PDF of this presentation. We're going to send it out to your representatives at College of the Canyons. If you are not a student there, you can email CalTAP at calvet.ca.gov, and we will send you a PDF of this presentation. Does somebody have something to say?
Question in the chat in regards to she's struggling with information on starting a nonprofit.
Oh, so she would need to get a hold of Jolene then.
Yes. So if you I'm gonna put in my email in here again, my direct one, because we can connect you. I think it's Dominique. We can connect you to someone. There's a woman veteran out in your area who started her own nonprofit, so I'll probably just connect you with her for mentorship.
Awesome. Wow. Such good stuff. All right. I'm going to go to the next slide. This is our survey again. We have given you quite a bit of information. It's information overload, I'm sure, just like Gina said, but we strongly encourage you guys to send your non-DoD email address to caltap at calvet.ca.gov so we can continue our relationship, and also fill out the survey. It's an amazing tool that we use, and we actively use the information collected to make our presentations more beneficial to you. If there's something that we have not presented on and you have a great idea, send it to our email, put it in that survey.
There's another question. Sorry.
Great. No,
Sorry.
Awesome.
Is what resources for leisure, travel, and lodging do veterans have?
Oh, that is a fantastic question. Back in the day, and I think they're opening back up at Travis, where you can do the hopper thing. But that's like as it comes up, you can go. What I do for myself, for my kids, all of us, I will ask the airlines if they have any type of military specials. I highly recommend that you guys go out and get the word veteran designation on your license. This is going to help you get those discounts, maybe at the AAA or maybe at a travel agency or whatever, things like that. To get that designation, all you have to do is go to your county veteran service office, show them your DD form 214. They'll give you the form to take to DMV, and they'll have veteran on your license. That way you don't have to carry around that DD form 214 to prove that you are a veteran. So that goes for all discounts. I ask about discounts at the movies, when I go out to eat, at bars, everywhere. You'll be surprised where that veteran designation helps you out. And yeah, so.
So one of my questions is, but if you're 100% service connected, can't you get into the state California national parks for free? That's so only if you're 100% service connected, right?
So the state parks are actually 50% rated by the federal VA. You can apply for that through parks.ca.gov.
Nice.
I actually used mine to get in some parks on a trip with my husband just recently. So I use it all the time. And I also use the Parks Pass, the federal one too. You can get that also. Both of them I did during COVID. I did not see anybody at all. I did everything online, and I think I might have had to mail something in, but I don't remember. I think it was all online. The application and doing everything was online. The state takes a little bit longer to get that passed to you, but the federal is pretty quick. The same thing goes for hunting and fishing licenses. It's 50%.
Hey, Jen, somebody had asked, can I still do a VA disability if it's been a long time ago? And I just want to emphasize, you can start a VA disability anytime, anytime.
Absolutely.
No matter if you've been out for 30 years, you've been out for 50 years, doesn't matter.
Like I said, I didn't even know there was a department in the state of California that was the Veterans Affairs. I had no idea. So again, 20 years before I got a resource book, it was like 22 years before I filed my first disability claim, and I just got rated a year and a half ago. So yeah, yay for me. I've got that pass.
Yeah, I want to say too, Jen, I had my mom do it. So I didn't know my mom was a veteran. She served for 2 years in the 1970s. 3 years ago, I made her do a disability claim. She got 90%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never too late. And even if you already did a disability claim 10 years ago, if you're having other issues secondary to that, or it's getting worse, go back and go to a CVSO and get that upgraded. All right. If you guys see anything else, let me know. Here's some upcoming webinars.
Yeah, I'd like to chime in on something. If you have a
Absolutely.
service-connected disability, you have a VA medical card, and it says you have a service-connected disability, you can actually access the bases. And some of these have campgrounds available. They have tickets available. They have a lot of activities that you can join in on. So definitely take it. You can use their commissary and their PX. So as long as you have a VA medical card and it says you have a service-connected disability, 0 to 100, you can access bases.
Absolutely. When I was out just a couple months ago on the road, we stayed at the base FAM camps. It was fantastic. I can't even tell you how many people I met that were retirees and service connected. And actually at the camps, they were like, "Are you service connected? Let's talk about it." They were excited to like talk about it and like share experiences and share like different benefits and kind of tricks of the trade for traveling or for healthcare or for doing a claim or other services there. So once you connect yourself in different places and you start doing these different things like going to the FAM camps, you start meeting more people and you can share what you know with other people also. It's just really good to just network and share that, you know? So here is our last slide. We're saying thank you for your service. These are the ways you can connect with Calvet and CalTAP. But I'm going to go back to the other one here one more time with everybody's information on there. If any of you ladies or Michael see any other questions, chime in.
Miss Wendy, in regards to your eyeglasses, why don't you just give me a call and we'll try to figure that out, because I don't know the answer and I don't want to give you bad information, okay?
So I actually got a pair of glasses for the first time from the VA last year. So these are my second extra pair of glasses and it was so easy. I called, I made an appointment, I walked in, they looked at my prescription and they filled it. And within 2 weeks, they mailed me my glasses. So this is fantastic, absolutely free. They have a lot to choose from. And it's like going to an eyeglass store. It's just like they lay them all out there. So I went to them, which I think I went to, no, I didn't go to Mather. Yeah, yes, I did. I did go to Mather. I did Mather for this. So anyways, that is definitely awesome. The glasses, hearing aids, also Cpap machines. My mother-in-law has no rating, but she got a free Cpap machine. My dad needed a Cpap machine. He was paying for it. My dad is rated at 90% and had no idea that the VA pays for Cpap machines. So now he has a Cpap machine and he gets the replacement mask and all the other things. So there's so much that you're paying for that you probably don't need to be paying for. All right. I think we're good to go. If nobody has anything else, I want to end this by saying thank you so much to all of our presenters here today for the fantastic information that you guys gave to us, for the fantastic presentations, the passion you guys have, the advocacy that you guys do, the empowerment that you give us. I just want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you to all of you that attended today, because it's not only great for you, but it's great for anybody that you meet and that you share the information with. So I appreciate you guys coming and really checking us out and sharing our information with other people. Thank you so much and have a fantastic day, everyone. And we're going to stop the recording now.